Hi everybody! In this video we are going to learn how to write a myth. Let's start. So we are going to start writing on page number 50 of your writing book. Page 50 and page 51. So first we need to answer some questions. These are personal questions. Number 1. Who will read your myth? So this is an important question. This is an example. My friends and classmates. Number 2. Where can you publish your myth? In the Compass blog. Number 3. What lesson can you teach in your myth? This is very important because before writing your myth, you need to think what lesson you want to teach. For example, be a good friend, tell the truth, never give up, be brave, or do your best. These are some options or some lessons you can teach from your myth. Number 2. These are important categories to start writing your myth. So, the first thing we need to write is the lesson. Remember that, the lesson. Because if you know what lesson you want to teach, you can create the characters and the rest of your myth. So, but let's start. In this case, the lesson is be kind to everyone. In other words, be nice to people. So according to this lesson, we are going to write the characters. So, do you remember the previous myth about Lucia Centeno? So, this is an example, just an example. The characters in the previous myth were Lucia Centeno and the people from town. So, do you remember the place? Places. In this case, the river and the town. These are the places from the previous myth. So, let's continue. In the myth, you can find different actions, like, for example, the river flowed, the people said, Lucia told, Lucia went. So, these are some actions. And finally, the lesson. Be kind to everyone. So, let's continue. Part number 3. You have to write some ideas for your myth. In this part, guys, you need to choose a lesson. You can choose one of these ideas. Be a good friend, never give up, or be brave. You can choose one of these. So, when you have your lesson, you have to create the character of your myth. who is going to teach the lesson. You have to write the name of the character and describe him or her. Example, main character, Lucia Centeno. You have to write a short description about Lucia Centeno, a beautiful woman with long, shiny black hair. And also, you have to write the rest of the characters, or in this case, is people from town. These are other characters of the myth. Let's continue on page 51. So, in this part, guys, you need to create your own myth. So, in this part, you can use dictionary or this option. I'm going to show you another option. So, you can use thesaurus.com. So, in this source, you can write a word and you can find synonyms about this word. For example, I'm going to write beautiful. Beautiful. As you can see, in this part, you can see the definition of beautiful, of the word beautiful. You can listen the pronunciation. Beautiful. Also, you can find synonyms of this word. For example, pretty is a synonym of beautiful. Wonderful, lovely, handsome, cute, and more options. You have more options. So this is a good tool for writing. Let's continue. So when you have your dictionary, you can start writing this part. The first thing you need to do in this page is write the lesson. So this is very important, guys. You have to write the lesson because according to the lesson, you have to write the characters and the rest of the myth. So write the lesson. Next, you have to create your characters. After that, you have to write the place. You need to write the problem. After the problem, you have to write the result. So, I'm going to give you an example. This is just an example. So, characters. In this case, it's about the previous, this is about the previous myth. Lucia Centeno is the main character. I'm going to write a short description about Lucia Centeno. A woman with long, shiny black hair and people from the town. They are other characters. So, next I'm going to write a place. This is an example. the river, and the town. In this part, you have to choose a place. It could be the mountain, a lake, a village, a volcano, or another option. The problem. This is an important part of your myth. You need to write a problem. So, this is an example. Some people in the town sell main things to Lucia. This is the problem. Please don't forget to write the problem of your myth. Result. The result is what happened after the problem. Lucia, after the problem, Lucia went to the river to say goodbye. So, this is the result. Next, the lesson. Lucia told them, this is an example, the river is kind to you, and you should be kind to everyone. So, this is so important to write your myth, guys. The lesson, don't forget it. So, when you finish writing the part number 4, you have to write the same categories in this part, in the part number 5. But you have to write the same ideas, but you need to write a little bit more about each category. For example, characters. Characters is the first category. Number 1, characters. So, I'm going to write the name of the characters, but I'm going to write a little bit more about my character or my characters. So, a woman with long, shiny black hair. Her name was Lucina, and people of the town. Number 2, the second category is place. Place. I'm going to write a sentence about the place. Lucia came to the town. The town is one of the places. One day, she went to the river. The town and the river are the places. So, number 3. In the number 3, I'm going to write the problem. So, this is the problem. This is just an example. Some people in the town said mean things to Lucia. This is the problem. Number 4 is the result. So remember that after the problem, you have to write the result. After this problem, she went to the river to say goodbye. But the river flowed into her hair. When she tried to comb it out, the river stayed. The people saw this and were, and in this part, I can continue writing, but I don't have a space. So, let's continue with the 5th. category. Lesson. I'm going to write a little bit more about the lesson. People asked to Lucia to put the river back. She told them, "The river is kind to you. You should be kind to everyone." So, as you can see, we have five important categories to write our first draft. We have the characters, we have the place, we have the problem, we have the result, and we have the lesson. So the lesson is the first thing you need to write. So right now we are ready to write our first draft on page 52. Let's go to the page 52. So this is the page 52. My first draft. The first thing you need to write is the name of your myth. The myth of Lucia Santen. This is just an example, guys. So we are going to write an introductory phrase. In this case, you can use this phrase to start writing your myth. A long time ago, a woman, in this part we have the description of the main character. A woman with long, shiny black hair came to town. Her name was Lucia. One day, she went to the river to take a bath. And you can continue writing about the character. You have to write some actions about the character. She went to the river. She take a bath. So after this, you need to write the problem. So this is the problem. Some people in the town said mean things to Lucia. So after this problem, we are going to write the result. This is the result. So she decided to leave the town. She went to the river to say goodbye, but the river flowed into her hair again. When she tried to comb it out, the river stayed. The people saw this and were afraid. They needed the water and the fish to survive. They asked to Lucia to put the river back. So, after this result, we have the lesson. This is the lesson. She told them, "The river is kind to you, and you should be kind to everyone." This is the lesson. And finally, we have the last part of the myth. Lucia saw that the people were sorry, so she combed her hair again. This time, you can use this phrase as well. This time, the river and fish returned to the riverbed. The people were very happy. They played in the river and ask Lucia to play with them too. And this is our first draft. Please don't forget to use these phrases like a long time ago, comma, one day, comma, and we have another phrase. This time, comma. These are some phrases you can use in your first draft. Don't forget to describe the character, the main character. You have to write the name of the character. You have to write some actions about the character. After that, you have to write the problem. In this case, we have the problem. And the result. After the problem, the result. And finally, the lesson of the myth. And the last part. So, this is all for today. Thank you for watching this video. Bye bye.